In the 2023 special election, the Millard Public Schools District proposed to continue the levy override, which was enacted back in 2018, with the hope of continuing their 9-cent per $100 on properties in the area over the next 5 years. For new superintendent Dr. John Schwartz, his paths to both Norris and Papillion-La Vista have given him the experience needed to know why the override is of high priority for Millard.
With Millard's variables, they're as such that without a levy override, we simply can't generate the revenue to support and sustain our program. So there's a different amount of valuation per pupil that exists in school districts all across the state because of things like sparsity, because of districts growing rapidly or not growing, because demographics are school districts more diverse or less diverse. Where we sit in all those variables is uniquely different from my prior districts, Papillion-La Vista and Norris. And so for us to have access to the resources that we need to provide programs, it really necessitates the levy override.
The biggest reason for the proposal is to not have to resort back to selective abandonment, the process in which the district would have to start cutting back spending on programs that not only affect the classroom setting, but the school and a district as a whole, as they had to back in 2017, a year before the current override was put into effect.
So the last time we did this, the cuts were started off away from the classroom. They were like non-personnel cuts. Then they kind of worked their way into personnel. So a lot of that had to be clerical, non-teachers, and then it got closer to the classroom. What happened then was we started thinking of things like the career academies, some of the different levels that we had in world languages. All those things started to get into can be concerning.
While the vote isn't until March 14th, the campaign trail for the district has shown promise, as many groups outside Millard applaud them for their fiscal responsibility, being the second lowest levy in the metro area, while gaining over 1,000 students and losing 3.2% of their state aid since 2009.
One of the taxpayer advocacy groups locally is called Taxpayers for Freedom. They're a group that advocates against higher property taxes and other types of taxes. So one of the things we did in this process is we actually met with them individually, and even the taxpayer watchdog group is saying we support your levy override.
To be able to cast your vote, you must be 18 years of age and can only do so through a mail-in ballot. The ballot will read as, quote, "Shall Millard Public Schools be allowed to levy a property tax to not exceed more than 9 cents per $100 of taxable valuation in excess of limits prescribed by law through the fiscal years 2023-2024 through 2027-2028 for purposes of general operations and building construction, remodeling, and site acquisition." With the additional funding, Millard will be able to provide an endless world of opportunities for their students, something the district prides itself on. For the MWHS Wildcat News, this has been Logan Mosley.